did everybody review the March 6th minutes?
Yes.
Motion to approve. Approved.
Second.
Second.
Okay. And we don't have any public to comment. All right, so recycling updates. Film plastic in the pill bottle. Lana, that's actually you, I think, right now with your communication with Warren.
Wait, hang on.
Yep.
Present members, Hillary, Beach, me, Alyssa's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anita's gone. Who else is there in the room?
That's it.
That's it? Oh,
We're sparse tonight.
We are just a quorum.
Oh, okay. And then just me and Leslie on Zoom.
I texted Laura, I'm waiting.
Okay, public comment, none. Okay. All right. So the prescription drugs. Just ignore my daughter. The prescription drugs. I talked to Warren over email. He seems to be all for it. It's unclear who is paying for the shipment and who's doing the labor. The only time he really mentioned volunteers is really to sort through the items that don't meet the qualifications. But I had told him that we'll let the charity do that. They can decide whether they want to keep those bottles or not. What I want to bring up to the committee is, do we want to volunteer to help out, or I'm not sure where to move forward with that. I did volunteer that I can collect the bottles and ship them and do the labor for that initially. But in order for this to work long term, I feel like it needs to be owned by the town at some point.
Yeah.
Just so there's just so it lasts. And then for the film recycling, he also seems very open to that. It's unclear where he wants to start collecting. I had proposed either the transfer station, but it had to be a dry spot, or a place in town. I know Woodbridge Beecher Road School is also going to be doing film recycling. Do we want to hold off on the town handling film recycling and just let Beecher do it? Do we want to combine efforts, or do we kind of push to see how far Warren will take on that labor as well? It's not clear who would actually do the delivery and take the photos and submit to Next Tracks.
Okay. Right, because it sounds like
I can talk to him, about that. I don't mind. I mean, I know Laura would be happy to do it also, and she's on her way, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll follow up. I'm going to be meeting with Allison tomorrow about a bunch of other follow-up things for Earth Day, so maybe I can add that to see, what else, sort of like what the feelings are. If we end up having to take it on, then we can, but let's try to get as much support as possible.
He said, when we are ready to pull the trigger, let's meet. So he seems ready to go. My understanding too, we wanted to launch this on Earth Day, or should we launch it earlier? Or do you want to talk to him about that? I don't think there's a reason to wait until Earth Day to get the ball rolling. But if it's like that's the event that we advertise that we are doing it,
Right,
maybe that makes sense.
Probably it, yeah.
I have a question. Would any of this be also involving the senior communities? Because I know, for example, Autumn Lake is very interested in doing some kind of program with perhaps some of the residents' participation in helping. I don't know what the parameters are for pill bottles, but I mean, with some of the other things. And also now I finally made a contact with Charter, which was the Linden, and they're interested as well. So I don't know. I mean, they only have recycle picked up for paper, I believe. And, if any of this gets approved for actually doing it and the town could possibly contribute or whatever, if we have a plan of action, let's put it that way. Maybe we could propose it to them as well, because I'm sure there's tons of pill bottles, and not just pill bottles, but other things as well.
I think it might have to be something where you collect and deliver to these delivery spots, or you be the volunteer to actually, collect town-wide and do the delivery. I think that probably makes the most sense. The requirement is that the labels have to be off and the bottles have to be clean and washed. I don't know if the nursing home would want that responsibility.
That's a lot of
I've taken it on in my home and I regret doing so because there are a lot of bottles with labels still intact that are not easy to come off. And a lot of people are not washing theirs either. I'm taking over the washing. I think that's the least that I can do. But the label part is recycle is annoying because not only do you have to wash it, but you have to make sure the actual caps stay with the container. So it can't be like a massive pile of caps and a massive pile of clean bottles. So it is a little effort. Am I concerned that the community of Woodbridge will be able to follow those directions? I'm very concerned about that.
Right. So I would say,
Um,
for the sake of time, I think we got to move through things a little faster tonight. I think a lot of us have to leave by 7. So I would say,
Okay.
Leslie, I think that's a great idea to include the other different kinds of communities. But I think as a pilot, we have to start this just residential, and then we can go for businesses and other things like that, and see what are the other barriers and challenges that will come from different places, like how what their systems are in the first place for those things, to know how we can fit in. So I would say let's start residential pilot, then move towards, that would be like a phase 2 or something.
Yeah, no, that's something I would be interested in pursuing once we get it. You're right. Once we get the pilot, running, that's fine.
Okay. All right. And definitely that would be both for pill bottles, for those kinds of things, and the film plastic. And really, we're even the phase 2 of the film plastic. Really, Beecher Road School is the pilot. Right.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Paige, do you know
heard it.
Paige, are you handling the film recycling at school?
I haven't gotten that far, but I have registered and I will talk to them. My hope is that maybe facilities will take this on, since Ms. Sherman is on board with this, that they can weigh it and take a picture. I'm guessing I'm going to have to work out and figure out how to get it to
Like
Stop and Shop.
advertise.
Advertising is easy. Then
Yeah.
we'll just blast that out. It can go on the principal's message. It can go out on a K-12 blast. It can go out on the PO website. So I'm not worried about letting the Beecher community know. I don't know how many people are going to want to bring and drop off there, but the main thing is that Beecher collects it.
Mm. And then it has to go from Beecher to Stop and Shop.
But it has to go from Beecher to Stop and Shop. So that will teach us how to do that.
Yeah.
The weighing in the picture's easy. It's the coordinating with who's going to bring it to Stop and Shop. When does it go to Stop and
How
Shop?
often? Yeah. How often do you think you're gonna have to do it?
No idea, because this
Yeah.
hasn't been done. It means people actually saving their,
Yeah.
and it means people in the school actually taking all those
Wrappers off and putting them.
I'm getting into that
and putting them in that
workflow
bin.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can collect a real lot real fast if people do it. I just don't know.
And in one sense, it's much better with all these things. It's like better to get it correctly and slow versus like rush and include so many people that like it all just
No one knows what's going on.
collapses.
Yeah.
Okay. Updates for Earth Day. We are chugging right along. One of the things we need now is, so we're getting a lot of vendor / exhibit applications. We extended the deadline somewhat because a lot of people said they were still figuring out what their exhibit was going to be. It's pretty much, let's see, what did I think I want to say this Friday is what we asked for people to, if they could please submit their stuff by this Friday. At the moment, we have about almost 35 vendors / exhibits with, I would say off the top of my head, at least 10 more people are like pending of stuff, saying they just hadn't figured out their exhibit quite yet. So they're still in the process of submitting that. Once we have that, we need to get back to everybody. A lot of very eager people have been like, I submitted my thing. Is it okay? Am I good to go? Like, well, we need to know the reason why we haven't done it like one by one is we actually have a limited amount of tables and we need to figure out how many people need tables, what we can do, what we can accommodate of everything, and we can't do that until we know all of everything. It's not really on an individual basis. While everyone's exhibits seemed fine, nobody seemed like they went off the rails with anything. They all seemed reasonably sustainably themed and such. So it's just the sort of thing where we need to make sure that we have the accommodations. So then next week we'll be sending out a letter or an email to everyone saying like, yes, thank you, you're approved. You will bring your own table, or we can supply you with one, and also what else we might need from them. So I think if we can brainstorm quickly, I think at the minimum we need to ask everyone for an 8x10 flyer, pretty much, of what their thing is going to be, so that we can link that on the website.
Okay.
We would make it.
Do we want to give them like a template?
Some people have already done it.
Okay.
So I would say like the Friends of the Library already did it without being asked to, and so did the dog park people who are doing a little dog park recycle.
Okay.
So they've already, and they're very different, and I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, we can show theirs as examples if we want. But just to say, here you go, like just basically what your thing is, so that one, we can link it on the website so people know ahead of time to have
Mhm.
more information than just a title. And then also on their actual table, those little frames that we got, I'm hoping we can use those to like have that.
This is what the table's
This
for.
this is what the table's for, so that's what you see until they
Those little
actually
frames
show
we
up.
got, I told you we're not.
That's okay, but we can actually use like a piece of cardboard
What size are they?
and
Okay.
put it on it,
A lot of them are small.
like 4x6 or something like that. But we can use those as the base if we just put like a piece of cardboard
They're gonna
behind
fly
it.
away.
What if we cut a whole bunch of cardboard, regular cardboard, corrugated, and make it like a back? So
Right, that's what I'm
glue
thinking.
stick it.
Yeah, exactly. Like to stick that.
It's still pretty light, but
Yeah, but you're picturing these on their table?
Yeah.
Which is in their way.
It's going to be there
Small stand.
until like that's how the tables will be set up, and then They would have
Just
it.
do like right.
Yeah, that's true.
right. But I need these anyway too for the.
Yeah, you do, but I'm just saying, like, they don't, if they wanna post and display, that's on them. For us to show them where they go, it just needs their name.
Okay.
It's just making more work for us that is, and then going to not really.
Okay. For food trucks, we have Micro Creamery is confirmed 110%. They have done their entire thing. All of the rest of the places have not.
Oh.
I at least heard back from somebody, Fresco's, today, that they said they're checking about some. But that puts us in a bit of a pickle if we have no food.
That's including the food truck.
Those are the food trucks. All of them. I don't know if it's just a slow process because it's a intensive process, or if they saw that process and said, "Peace
Screw
out." Yeah. So I'll keep trying to follow up with them. Hopefully they'll respond to me in some way. The other thing, we have a wonderful opportunity. We've already booked Micro Creamery. Then we had someone else who has ice cream who wanted to give out free ice cream. But we can't do that. Then we would be contracted with someone for ice
Yeah.
cream. So we are going to what we sort of figured out as a happy medium of all this was to have free ice cream for volunteers
Oh, that's great.
after the event. And then we all
Or
get
in the
free ice
middle
cream.
of the event.
No, I talked to her today.
Oh.
She only wants to be after.
Oh.
Yeah. again, we're gonna make this
I
work
need
for
ice cream
everybody.
at every-
Exactly, right. It's free ice cream for volunteers.
Mhm.
If you have a problem with it, then don't have free ice cream. That's how it goes.
And have all of the people who don't want theirs.
Yep. Exactly. All right, we've booked a lot of the bands and acts at the moment. BJ, I want to follow up with you. Do you want me to contact sound? Do you want me to contact the whole lineup? and
I
just
already
confirm?
contacted Sound Effect
Okay.
today. I haven't heard back
That's
from
what I
them
wanted to
because I switched
Okay.
the time.
Yes.
Meacham and Hutchinson is definite.
Okay.
Tentative. Hangman is tentative. Sound Effect I contacted today.
Okay.
So we'll get confirmation on if that time works for them and if they're still in, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, but
The other
otherwise
ones are
we're good.
already confirmed.
Very good.
And Trinity Church, I reached out again to today, sent an email and actually bulleted everything. I spoke to Josh and said that through the grapevine, like middleman, this person told that person, we talked to that person. We have been told we can use the grounds, the labyrinth they're excited about.
That's
Penny's
Trinity
very
first,
excited. I mean, not Trinity first.
Okay.
Penny, who does Iris, is excited about that. So I asked for her contact so I could speak to her separately because they tend to pick up the furniture, not drop off. So they may want it to stay like that. And I asked about tables, which is new. So fingers crossed. I emailed, gave them all the contacts. We'll see what happens with that. I reached out. So Carol Powell is Sound Effects.
Yeah.
Her son Sam is
Beach. Beach, you said Trinity Church?
No.
Because
Trinity, my bad, First Congregation. But I did reach out to, again, through the grapevine, trying to get a hold of Trinity because Sam works, is the youth,
At Trinity.
whatever it is,
Okay.
at Trinity. So I'm like,
Yeah.
can you ask him who I need to contact?
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling my email's in La La Land, like that I might have
Right.
sent it to the wrong place.
Okay.
So to be continued, but at least all contacted.
Okay.
That's something.
All right, so in that case, so all the bands and all the live acts are in process too, then. So for that part. The recycling and donation truck, so that was part of the update on that one. And then also the only one, I think everyone's been confirmed except for the textile. Bay State Recycling has still not gotten back to me. That's okay, that is so much better actually without that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Fabulous. So I still need to hear back on that because I feel like that's a big one. I really wanted textile recycling of the stinky textiles that aren't
Girls that could
sellable.
donate it.
Yeah. Okay, so that is that. The thing we're still, and I think we're actually to the point where this is going to be okay. I want to go through the whole event with the DEI committee and with the town ADA person who is Jeanette Glicksman to go through to make sure that we are being as inclusive and accessible and wonderful as possible. And Lana was generously going to reach out to her support group that had feelings about this as well to see if anybody had any other
Like a quiet
ways
corner
to-
or quiet
right.
activity
And
or
like
something.
one of the things that came up previously was there's never enough mobile differences like parking.
Mm.
And so we were actually gonna, we said this before, we're gonna close on
Oh, by the police station,
yes,
right?
close up that whole parking lot to use for that. It still may not be enough. I don't know. There's really not that many parking spots there,
Yeah,
but at least it's
Yeah, but
something.
I don't.
but at
And
least something.
I was just going to ask, and have we decided? I know you said that we could bring events inside in case of that horrible thing rain.
Yep.
But
The
I
rain
mean,
is not happening.
cancel the trail walks and all that. But is there space enough to bring people in?
Yeah, so we have a whole rain plan. We've reviewed it with the library. We're using a lot of the space that exists in each building. It's not like everything will be in one building. It's like we would use the library, we would use the senior center, we would use the gym, we would use every single
Town
thing.
business room
Yeah,
we would
yeah.
use, and that also is in the email to First Congregation.
Oh yes, and the church too.
They
We're
had
hoping to use part of.
Yeah, like through the grapevine word is yes, but we don't have official.
Right, but all the other ones we used too, I
Yes.
believe. So so anyway, so there should be a way. I think we actually ended up with some extra room, oddly enough. this never worked before because the senior center was being worked on during the other events, I think, but now
It's finished
not.
being updated.
Yeah. So yeah, but then Leslie, what you said about, I think it all depends on how much it's raining, or if the trail walks and stuff get canceled. If it's a monsoon, then yes, that's probably out. But if it's a drizzle, some of those might still be okay. It's gonna, and that same thing for even anything outside. Because the one thing that we lose that I'd be very sad to lose would be actual like the live music performances, because we really don't have a venue that can handle that amount of sound, I think. Um,
Electric.
Not much the sound as much as even the performance and the people.
both at the same
It's like
time.
you can have one or the other.
Yeah, we can take turns. Who's gonna be in there? So what is this is called the big meeting room? Central meeting room. Thank you.
Big central, that's the same thing.
All right. Sorry, I have to toggle a lot here. Okay. Other things. Website is being updated. Jen from the library did a great job this afternoon of adding a few more things. Everyone should check it out. The library website that has us on there. We've got all the forms are on there. The instructions to make sure people bring their own reusable containers. To make sure everyone is stressing that to their friends and family and neighbors. Bring your own containers. It gets you free coffee, free other things.
Oh, good.
So,
Good idea.
minimize your trash and recycling. Bring what you can back with you, and that the trash recycling food scraps will be available. I'm working on that tomorrow with the town to see exactly what are the steps that we need to go through to make sure that that happens on that day. Worst comes to worst, we just have receptacles, but I'm really hoping to have them actually really in the town buildings for real by then. But we're running out of time. It's a month away. All right, sponsor letters. We've had many workhorses out there trudging with the sponsor letter. And so we are getting sponsors too. We have a lot of great sponsors already. Let's see, I can read them off the website. So we have several, our charter oak, no oaks yet, but we have a sapling and a couple seedlings and several sprouts. So we are definitely collecting money, which we need to make this happen. What we need, the next thing, we need a volunteer to make a thank you letter draft for this. If anybody wants to volunteer here to do that, they can, or we can. Diana had already texted, since she couldn't come, we're allowed to assign her whatever. As she is one of the sponsors, that might be a little strange to have
Her do her own thank you letter, or it's one less that she has to do.
It's true. Well, it would just be a form letter, really. So it's not like
Hillary,
yes.
would that be an email or would that be a card?
We could decide. What do you think?
Well, I
Does it
would
depend
just
on the
jump in
sponsor
with my
level?
thoughts. I think being sustainable, it should be an email, but being that some of these are like very generous, it should be more than a form letter email. So, maybe a little personal email note with a well-made Canva card, but not actually printed out. So that they could print it if they so wanted. Some people, like to post those.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, so that we're not actually printing it and sending it, but they get the official looking thing with a personal email. Could be, for some of them.
Yep.
Are the
That
Are
can be done whoever is more knowledgeable of where it's going.
Are the sponsors the same? Would that be the same category as donations?
Yes.
Okay. Did Whole Foods respond to you?
No.
Oh, did you'd sent them something though, right?
I did. Yep.
Okay. I might be in there eventually. If I can hobble in there, I will. But they were very, very eager, and I
Just keep in mind that when I say they didn't respond, that just means they didn't write me back. And
Yeah.
Allison updates me once a week on who's gone through the Square site. And that was Monday that she updated me, and I think I contacted them Tuesday. So they could very well have sponsored. They just maybe didn't tell me, but so far, like, nobody is telling me when they sponsor. They just do it, unless I'm actually speaking with them directly.
Yay!
Hillary, I can take over the thank you emails. I
Okay.
can handle that.
All right. Do you want, you want to draft the form letter for it and then make all the other pretty parts to it? Or
I thought we weren't going to make it a form. We
So I
want to
think-
make it we want to make it personal, right?
I think, what did you say, BJ? It depends on what they're
I think make it pretty, and then a form, a short kind of
Form that you edit to make it personalized.
right where, because someone who's donating like $50,
right. There's
Thank
a
you
lot
so
of,
much for your generous donation. Thank you
yeah,
so much
but
for
somebody
your
who's
donations.
donating
Yeah.
1,000, we're going to go in there and
Yeah.
each of us are going to
We're
pick
spruce
who
it
we
up.
know and want to add a little more to that. But it would be good to have one in the hopes that there's several.
Okay, I can do a little template for everybody to review, and we'll do a little bit more for the bigger sponsors. I'll
level.
have the different levels. And I assume we have their email addresses because
yes.
right, okay.
Yeah. I have everybody's. At first, that information was not being collected with the sponsorship, but it happens to be that all the people that we're sponsoring we know anyway. So luckily,
So what kind is?
so we got them one way or the other. Along those lines, we need to send out our sponsor warriors to a few more places in person. I wanted to sort of again so that we don't duplicate. So what were the big ones that we were talking about before? Ernie's.
Well, Michael, I'll do Ernie's.
Okay.
I'm due to be there
You need some
anyway.
pizza. That's fine.
But I know a lot of because they're right on that cusp of
Yeah.
the Woodbridge,
edge.
New Haven line. So Carmine's.
Yep.
And which if nobody has a personal connection, I can do Carmine's as well. And then is it State Garden Shoes? I think with
I
the
know what you're talking about.
Chinese and those is right next to it.
I know, I was just at Joe's last night. I could have given them one, but I didn't realize we were doing Amity. I did hit everything in an Amity shopping
Just
center
because so
tonight,
many people go there. And again, it's on that
except for
line.
Stop and Shop.
Do you have a copy of the list that I sent you?
For Peter.
Okay, so
We'll
I
do
can
it separately. Yeah.
You saw the ones that we got, right? The list?
Yes.
Okay. Because it sounds like there's duplicates, but I'm hitting more of the Orange Bethany lines. Bunch of people on the Boston Post Road. Has anyone done that yet?
So not Boston Post Road, no.
Okay, I have a bunch of commitments from there. So I mean, including Whole Foods won't let us put a flyer up. They can't, but they're interested in sponsorship. But there's a whole bunch of small businesses. Actually, even Pilgrim Furniture said they'd put a flyer up. So I'll do those. Just give me a chance to do them slowly, but I'll hobble there.
Okay.
I
And
promise.
then, so Leslie, you've got the sponsor letter too. So what Alyssa's been handing out is the sponsor letter, right? Plus
It's a half sheet. I actually put 2 flyers and I cut it in half, stapled so it looks all cute.
Oh, okay.
You can see
Is
that.
that's on the. Was that sent to us? I probably saw it.
Yes.
Okay, I'll find it. All right.
But I can
Thanks.
easily print more and have
If
them.
you want to just send another one, so I have it now, it would or soon. It would be great.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. I'm just gonna note that. So Leslie, you've got ones on Boston Post Road.
Yeah, and other places too. Also, a couple of places in Bethany, like Teddy B's, and just up the strip there.
Okay.
Yeah, which
There's a couple of them they're all on that list.
Okay. I would say just for everyone sending out stuff or going there in person, not that I think anybody would be terribly upset they've already donated to have somebody come again, but just make sure you're looking at the list of who has donated.
Okay.
So I will find that again.
Also, what about the media outlets? I gave you some information, but they wanted press releases and to talk.
Right. So I have in my meeting tomorrow, I asked already, I emailed about that, but that's part of my meeting for tomorrow to get clarification on if we're allowed to do that.
Okay, I know in the past, and I may be saying it erroneously, but I thought Sheila McCrevin is Laura's there. She'll back me up. I thought she was associated with communications at Yale.
Not anymore. I don't
None,
think-
oh, rats.
Mm.
Okay, because I was going to say she could be a good source also. I did get contact, though, I think I told you, with the art and architecture school. And they're interested, and they, once we got them, they said it would probably fly with the other places on Chapel Street, etc. I mean, I've got Claire's Cornucopia. There's a bunch of places that I thought would be appropriate, that where there would be people who, might be interested. Yale Daily News, I gave you that contact. That would be nice also. And then, of course, Edge of the Woods and Whaley Avenue. Is it, you said, who's going to Whaley, or who's going down that part? Near the village, near Westville?
BJ was going to
Well, on
Ernie's.
Carmine's and Ernie's.
And Ernie's, yeah.
You're right. Edge of the Woods should be hit.
Funny. Yeah, a couple of people suggested Ernie's, but I know like Edge of the Woods
A
said
lot.
definitely. And
Yeah.
there's a bunch of.
Email them. They don't have like email contact. They only have a phone number, and I was like,
But once you have Yale, that would be really nice. The colleges have been terrible. They're all saying, well, it has to be blah 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 blah. It doesn't make any difference if you're an alumni or not. They could care less. They're being really picky. But again, the particular places. Now that it's open, maybe I'll hit up the Peabody Museum as well. So because a lot of them are kid oriented. Our activities would be nice. Yeah. So I'll try.
excellent.
So Leslie, I have you looking into the Yale area as well as the Orange Bethany line and Post Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And be,
it's just some of the media formats there. There's no like real place I can go into and say, "Would you?" Oh, I could. I mean, I'm a member of the art, the Yale School of Art, but I can ask. I can. It's not going to hurt if I go in person. But art and architecture said yes. We just have to give them like the written things. There's a pending list I gave you too.
Excellent. So then, let's see. Do we want to differentiate to who we're just sending flyers out and who we're asking for sponsorship? Everything.
And
Right.
when I talk to them, I just introduce myself. Sustainability Committee. We're inviting all the local businesses to come. We would love for you to sponsor. If you want any to be a part of it in any other way, please let us know. Our contact information is on there.
Right, like it's when some of the emails I've sent out, like depending on what kind of business it is. So like when I did the pool club again today, I said, here's the sponsor thing, but if you want to be a part of it in another way,
Because you get a lot of families, and it'd be
Definitely,
great for you
yeah.
to like have games for the kids or do something.
right, like let us know. And that's when I put like the business form on there that has the other
Maybe I should be juggling
choices.
both things to it.
No, though, because like that form is not like
So I wish that
Send
letter
out.
that I'm attaching also had like a disclaimer at the bottom, like if you'd like to be involved as a vendor
Sponsor.
or
Yeah.
other than a sponsor,
Oh,
please
yeah.
contact us, or maybe it was for next year. Like
Yeah.
because like there's some places like
But you know what you can tell them? Just go on use the QR code that's on the flyer. So everybody, this is what holds the QR code on the flyer goes to the website, and all the forms are available on the website.
Okay.
So just
That's what I told Clay to do. Like I think they want to do something also. Interesting. Well, the owner apparently moved to Texas, so now the manager. Did you know if you emailed that owner?
I think it's just like info.
Oh, okay.
I Clay did.
I'll like double check it.
I'd actually talked to them once before, but I have a gift
Okay, so we'll see if
certificate
they
there, but
actually follow through.
anyway.
It's a
They don't
different
know my
owner
gift
now.
certificate.
Okay.
They're probably franchises like a lot of
Oh,
those things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I guess with some of the things, just make sure we're being as comprehensive, I guess, as possible, so that we don't have to go back to the same places to do
Okay.
something else. But I would say like places that are far outside of Woodbridge, is that appropriate? Do we feel to ask for sponsorship from like Claire's Cornucopia or not? I do love Claire.
Oh, I think it would be great. Yeah, I mean they're
Yeah.
all business, so
Right. I mean, she is specifically.
And they do get a lot of business. If they get, like what you said last night, like if they get a lot of business from Woodbridge
Yeah.
residents, then I think that's fair because
They get a lot of business from me. so.
Yeah, that's right. You're number one vegetarian.
You know who else? Not in terms of donations, but in terms of publicity. Every library in New Haven wants it. So,
Okay.
including the main branch, yes. And I don't know if that's a
New
conflict
Haven,
of
that's all I
interest
know.
with our library, but
Okay.
is that all right?
Yeah, I think the libraries are fine.
Yeah, they really want it, especially Mitchell and the
Okay.
main branch.
Yeah, I'm just thinking though. So okay, so right. So if they seem sustainability themed, then it's appropriate. But like, are we asking Pilgrim Furniture? I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I don't want to waste
Yeah,
anybody's time either.
Right, I don't think we should be asking non-sustainable,
Non-Woodbridge.
non-Woodbridge
Yeah.
places to sponsor or do anything for that matter,
Yeah.
because that defeats the purpose of what we're doing. Like, you're okay if you give us money, and that's not what we're saying.
That's
No, and that's not what we want to say.
Right.
So
Yeah. We do want to say shop local, but local.
great.
Like
No, but
Westville
it
is
is-
local.
yeah, Westville's very local, and New Haven is local.
Well,
but
even like
it's-
Claire's Cornucopia is more of a local place than like a chain. It seems like what you were saying. Like, would we ask Stop and Shop? But we would if they actually
Need them.
need something specifically from them, and they are someplace that a lot of.
I mean, I
Well,
was
they
there
are
tonight
local,
shopping.
though.
Yeah.
They're also
They're very into sustainability. She is.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so just I guess right. If there's any question,
Yeah.
we can send it out
Use
to the
your
group.
judgment.
Use your judgment. But we don't need money that badly, I guess. To
Should we
just-
hit our mark
you know, it's
to,
kind
like,
of like we
actually
did with
support
the
them?
green.
Yeah, I tried to direct it to places that I thought would be more on the sustainability level. I mean, I
Book things in advance.
didn't go to Sneaker Junkie, places like that. But
Right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, let's keep at that. We're doing a great job. Thank you to everybody who's been working it so far. It's
Leslie's been amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Leslie's been doing a great job. Alyssa's been doing a good job.
Alyssa.
Paige is doing a good
Yeah.
job. We are.
everybody has.
Rolling.
And so what the other thing I've been doing is, think of who you know here that has local businesses too, that might be interested, because some of them do want the publicity and they want that extra help with stuff. There have been a couple vendors per se, real actual vendors that are local businesses, but they are definitely like home businesses that have said they want tables. So I'm gonna wait till the deadline of the
Tomorrow.
submissions, so like by the end of next week or so, to see how many there are and then see what we do about that, because I do believe they are supposed to pay the $75 and I'm not sure they realize that. So, and then they also have to pay for a table, definitely as a vendor. If they're gonna be making money, we can't waive that.
We call it we can't call it a flea market next year, can we?
It's not.
It's not, and
Very
especially for what the things are, it's
It's
not.
not. Okay.
It's not. And to make some things easy or affordable for some or whatever
It's not really
doesn't-
fair.
is not fair to
Mhm.
the whole process, which is
But either way, like we're working with the town on that. We can't get the $75 thing waived because it's part of the ordinance for hawkers and peddlers, which I just like saying. And then, but they did talk about. I have to find out. They said they were going to talk about possibly waiving the other requirements, the fingerprinting and everything like that, for the hawkers and peddlers,
Mhm.
just for the
Accessibility.
labor of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we can see about that. And then we can also see if we have extra sponsorship money, if we can cover some things with donations for them.
Like give
they don't
everyone
have
a
to hit them
$15
some-
discount off
exactly.
of it or
like
something.
everything $5 off, woo woo, something.
Something. Yeah. Yeah.
And
no,
it
anything.
might still be prohibitive for people. It might not be. I don't know. But again, we need to know how many we have before we can make that offer. Because it depends if we have 100 of them, that's a lot different than we have 2 of them.
Yes, yes.
So that $5 off just turned into 5 cents. Anyway, but we want, and same thing with the food trucks.
Yes.
The same thing applies to them. It's just under a
$75
different-
for
not
them
hot
too.
dogs.
I thought
Yeah.
theirs was more expensive.
No, there's a 75 also.
I was asked a question, totally not food trucks, totally not that at all. But anyway, I was asked a question by a couple of the people I contacted if we were in fact going to be putting on people are very interested in the pollinator pathways programs. Is there going to be one there?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm not lying then. Yay.
Yeah, we have our pollinator pathway people
Okay, great.
are coming.
Very people are very interested in that.
Also the Mazzaro person. We have a lot of people
A
who are
lot
like,
of-
Should we also talk about the scavenger hunt? It looks like only one business is interested in the scavenger hunt. And if we're doing the scavenger hunt for the month of April,
I think it's more than well, yes. So that is a good question. Not just that, but also the promotion thing.
yes.
So I'm wondering too, do we figure all of those things out too again once we have all the things next week? Do we then look at it and then contact everybody again? Because I think a lot of people I had people reach out to me about the scavenger hunt thing. They were like so worried they were going to do it wrong about what did we mean, about a question. And I think there might be 2 on there right now that
Well, we
put something.
need to figure it out. I don't know if Michael Creamery is on there, but he can be on there.
Right. I think we
He
can help
has
all the
the
people who have like signed up. I
thing
think we can get them.
Where you put, like, he has that backdrop.
Yes.
I
We
say
can take a
maybe
picture. Yeah.
take a picture there, and I'm sure plenty of them will do it. They don't actually need to have the questions. That was more.
That could be
That's for
available
tables
like in an
at the-
online.
At the thing too. And
It's
again, they were
also
confused.
though that was more, I think, a way because we took that from another town
Right. Yeah.
of collecting questions.
Yeah.
We can
But
come up
people
with
also
all
didn't
the
understand it. I
questions.
think because at least that's the impression.
I
got
know, but
from
I'm
it.
saying
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't need to. We can come up
Right.
with the questions that have to be answered. We can plug them in and
Self-generated.
just say, "Hey, you're going to be one of
Right.
the spots."
You know what? I know we're
Yeah.
running late, and I just want to mention one more thing I was able to do. At Town Hall, if you drive into Town Hall to the right, there is a very antiquated bulletin board there, and it has Boy Scout trails and how to fold the flag and whatever. We got permission to put our flyers there. Yay!
Okay.
And Tony said she will even post them for us.
Great.
So that's recycled efforts.
Okay. Very good. We have 15 minutes left, and hopefully we'll finish before then. Okay.
Leslie, where is that sign? Sorry.
It's where the flag thing is.
Yeah, it's actually the Boy Scout, but they said that they're not using it, and we've gotten permission. It's right on the driveway to the right where the mail box is.
Yeah, where the flag donation
And
is.
yeah. Oh, is it a donation? Oh, I thought
Yes.
it was.
That's where you retire flags.
Oh, I thought it was how to fold them. But anyway, I'm not into it. But anyway, all right. So we do have permission though to post that, and I bought some things you can use for a nice furniture.
Very cool. If nothing else happens, that list is awesome. All right. Other things. Oh, so the other thing too, so expanding it to Earth Month and the promotions. So a few businesses actually did say, here I was like, oh, we got to scrap that because nobody did it. But then actually I looked at the business thing and a bunch of them were like, I'll give, like, even Sleeping Giant coffee. They're not going to come to Earth Day, but they were like, but we'll give 20% off or whatever their amount is off of stuff. Like they'll do
during
it.
April.
So I was like, well, let's not scrap it. Even if
Yeah,
5 people
even
do
if
it,
it's
that's
just 5
something.
businesses,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
really nice of
And
somebody
maybe
who's
more
not
would
going
join
to.
in next
Yeah,
year.
exactly. So, and maybe more too, like, again, so as if anybody is contacting local Woodbridge businesses like Brookside Market or Cat's Deli, like when you go, or the Blue Check Deli.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a Blue Check Deli or Brookside Market contact? Anybody know?
I don't, but I
Where
can
more?
stop there. I'm there.
Brookside or Blue Check.
I
don't
tried to call Blue Check. They're always busy.
I go into Brookside enough, and because I'm always doing the free library. keeping
So
it
if
up
you
to
want to
date.
just ask, like, do they want to do that part of it? You know, like, like
Yeah,
you
I
don't
already
usually
dropped a
see their
flyer off
name
there, but
as a donation
Definitely
thing. But if
talk
you
to
want to
them.
ask those, I feel like big places within Woodbridge,
yeah.
if they want to do some promotion,
Promotion.
$1 off, I don't care. Like it can be, like
It
not,
could be, yeah.
just something to be part of this. So that's a great way to be involved too. That doesn't really hurt you. If nobody mentions it anyway, you don't lose anything.
Yeah,
True. So that's that one. Another volunteer position we have available. We're going to start having to make signs. If anyone's feeling very artistic, or so at some point between now and Earth Day, we need to make signs for where the bathrooms are at this event. Like outside of whatever buildings that we're going to be able to use the bathrooms. Water stations.
Can we buy pre-printed ones as long as they're on like recycled paper or something? Or whatever.
It shouldn't be that hard to make them, I would think.
I have a bunch of acrylic
material.
paints
Well,
that-
are
Yeah.
these just mean, they're easy enough to,
I can make the signs as long as someone tells me how many and what.
Right, right. Yeah,
we just need a list of
Exactly.
exactly
What they
how
have to
many,
be,
right,
yeah.
they're simple signs for us to type up,
Yeah, yeah.
print, laminate, or put in a sleeve.
Exactly.
okay, very good.
Yeah,
Some
laminate's
things have
probably.
to be, some have to be laminated, some don't.
Right.
Those are
Well, if
all
it's
big
green,
things.
we definitely.
If it's soggy, they need to be
Yeah.
laminated. That's
not
it. Some do,
raining.
some don't. Some
It's
are
not
inside.
raining.
It's a humid day.
It's
But
excessively
we don't know.
Humidity is
Some
above
do, some don't,
75%.
is the bottom line. Like, we need a list.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyways, I'm working on that. I'm working on also checking with the town tomorrow of which bathrooms we'll have access to, which water stations we have access to, etc.
Do we have a plan for making signs for the road? You know how they have this, on the islands and the road?
Yes, that has the A-frame signs is in process. If anyone has a professional or the crown version, a version of Canva, you need to resize the flyer, and you can only do it with the
Version.
crown
Can't you
version.
just? I saved it as a JPEG and then I put it into Google Sheets and then I resized it that way. I already have it resized. I'll just send it to you. Like remind me of
No, but I need to take a bunch of stuff off of the
Oh,
flyer.
you need to adjust.
That's what I need to adjust it, and I need to make it much less busy for the A-frame.
You can't make
But
it.
I want to make sure it needs to be 24 by 36, and that might be the same dimensions, but I'm not 100% positive.
So you can't adjust it in Canva as the size is and
I can check
then
that.
expand it in another program.
Yeah, you're getting them printed, right? Getting them made up.
Yeah, but I wanted
elsewhere?
to make sure the whatever the
Proportions are
yes.
correct.
Because you can adjust Google Sheets to be however many inches by inches as you want, and then you
Yeah.
could drop it in there, expand it, and make sure that it looks clear. And if it
Okay.
does, then you can just do
Yeah,
that.
or just do the math to make sure the proportions are accurate, because they just take a file.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're sending them a JPEG file or whatever.
as long as
format
I
file,
was more worried about the
and then
proportion.
they
but-
blow it up.
Are we using any that go into the ground? Like political sign ones?
Oh, like the
I've got frames. I've got the
frames too.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure how sustainable those
No,
are.
those get printed on
But
plastic.
then
vinyl.
again, but here's the concept too. If we're making something that is reusable every single year, that just
Sustainable.
says Earth Day, I
Yeah.
guess we have to think about
Woodbridge
that.
Earth Day
Let's-
celebration.
Again,
Everybody
depends
think
what
about a
it's
way. Yeah, think about a way that can be reused every year. How much information can we put on it that it's still reusable?
No, I was just offering the frames. I don't have the signs, but
You
if
have
you
April,
want the
and you
frames,
just need a blank space, and then you can use a Sharpie because it's plastic, and then you can use hand sanitizer, take it off,
Yeah.
and just put the
And then
date
we
back
go
on.
collect them again after.
Yeah.
All right. I do a lot of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
All right.
kind of do that. For
Yeah,
the
like
group.
April.
We leave the date,
Yeah.
Blank
and then we
And then
just
I
leave
commas.
the date.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
to whatever. They're not gonna last more than
Yeah.
6 more years. So.
Okay. All right. We can look into that in terms of how much that costs, and
They do it for the Christmas tree thing too. They build a piece of paper over it.
I'll add that to my list of things to ask about. All right. Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. You guys are very creative. For the volunteers, I'm thinking if anyone else is like me, I have 3,000 lanyards in my house. We'll give lanyards to all the volunteers with a little thing,
Card?
like how Lana had said before, like ask me about my, yeah. So if everybody, if we can pool all our lanyards, I'm sure we can ask them buy nothing if we somehow don't have enough. I think I might actually. But, to say like EV cars or whatever station you're at, that will be your main thing. Obviously you can travel.
Hello, I'm Laura.
Yeah, like sustainability committee, like
the at the back where you're supposed to be.
right. And then that way too, if you get lost, you know where to go. No. If you everybody in their little lanyard thing would get their ticket for ice cream, if that's
Oh, that's a great idea.
something that
Good
works.
idea, so we
Um,
don't lose it.
Just like how it works at conferences, like here's your
Mhm.
real ticket.
Here's your-
Don't
yeah.
if you lose it, oh well. And then we can have other things like that too, but that's how we can recognize all the volunteers
Great
versus
idea.
having to wear. And I did pick up those safety.
I was gonna
today,
say,
by
didn't
the
you
way.
have safety vests
That's
on
true,
by
but
nothing?
there's only like 4 of them or something, but so at least people won't
That
get
can
hit
be
by
for
cars.
you. The
Yeah,
point
well,
people.
Hillary,
Yeah. Or
instead of a ticket, why don't we just give them a stamp so the ice cream person just stamps the
Yes. great idea.
paper, and then it's less paper being
Yeah.
used.
Or
Yeah,
stamp
so
their
there's
hand.
right. There's but she needs to know who's a volunteer and who's not. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Right, and that's the lanyard.
Your lanyard.
The lanyard is your ticket to get ice cream, and then once you get it, your lanyard gets stamped.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like there needs to be the before and after. So anyway, just think through it. Just there's got to be ways, right? I agree. I don't want those stupid tickets everywhere because they end up all over the floor. So because the other one that's like that too is
Not that
the
many people. You could just have a list of names. Go and check.
True, that too.
then you're gonna go with a different name again.
Well, me, but not everybody.
I am also
Yeah.
Alyssa Anderson.
You're like, huh? That's weird.
And then I don't get any ice cream.
Go with your
Nora
mustache
will.
and you know,
What?
like Groucho glasses.
No, yeah,
I'm
Nora will make
smarter
it.
than that. I'm just gonna sign up
Here's
as a
some.
volunteer under multiple.
Hopefully
Really
she'll be
assist.
helping with the
Like, I do
clothing
multiple
swap.
places. All right, very good. The other thing too with the alcohol beer wine garden is in the process of we're getting the permit. We're working out all the details of it. That's another place where the same issue exists. So again, brainstorm on these things of the tickets because that it's like you would pay for a thing, you'd get
That needs tickets.
a ticket or something like that. Maybe it's a reusable thing. It doesn't have to be a
No, it could be a token.
yeah. Like I mean, we could use poker chips or I don't like something that people just don't normally have on them. And then you take that. I'm gonna use like recycling.
I have lots of those, like
Here's your
those
hubcap.
coins, those gold coins for St. Patrick's Day.
But yeah, it could be things like that. I mean, that would be cute actually. You know, like that, and that's what you take, and
Yeah,
that's what
and
you
we
give to the
have math
bartender.
tokens that
Yeah.
can be used. Well, think we have any of us have anything.
Oh, I have a
like-
ton of like those like math little blocks where you do the 10 by 10.
Yeah, but
So
even
I mean,
that
like
one
really,
won't
it's only
flat
it
like
has to be
for
given to
games.
somebody like probably like
Regular.
they have to make
Oh,
20
like
feet
the
with
rich
it. It's not
ones,
far.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so anyway, it would be they buy outside the tent, they go in, they have to give it. It's not far, you know. It's just so that the bartender doesn't have to handle cash. or
Yeah, which
money.
is great.
Okay, so that's all that stuff. We are at
We give them a
7:10
pebble.
here.
Very
Very
sustainable.
specific pebble.
Yeah.
Semi-precious gems.
He said grass,
Stick.
Wow.
An acorn.
acorns, yeah.
Could take
Dead
acorns
leaves.
and like dip them in like a paint or something. I mean, that's not really sustainable. If it's a sustainable,
The seed packet, you can now take it over there, or you can keep it in.
and actually,
Plant Different guy. All right. Let's see. The food waste diversion things. I'm gonna. Oh, our new business was actually next. Laura, did you want to talk about the newsletter that you wanted to suggest quickly?
Like I put it up. It's basically encouraging people that they could use their front lawn,
Mhm.
you know, for gardening
Mhm.
and to get away from
Monoculture lawns.
maintaining
Lawns.
their lawns and mowing and raking and whatnot. Having a garden, it's
More work,
vegetable
but
garden.
A good idea.
Idea.
Yeah, better for them. But there's a lot there. There's a lot. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just kept reading and reading and reading and researching. And I just kept adding and adding and adding. So we could cut it, shorten it and send out 2 or 3.
Right, and we do have a list from when the town sent out that sustainability update. There were a bunch of people who responded back that they want to be on the list, and Allison's given me that
Oh,
a couple
cool. All
times.
right. Yeah, that would
So
be a great thing to
I don't
start
know the
with.
amount of people on it, but it is something. So we could send something like that
Right,
out. But
right.
and maybe we put up a sign up for that at Earth Day too, and maybe we launch it after that so that we can
Yeah.
concentrate on this and then
Yeah, absolutely.
after that
Yeah, whenever. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
do that. All right. If nobody saw it, if anybody missed it on the town newsletter yesterday, the EV chargers now will be paid. So if anybody asks about that, you know. Other exciting town sustainability updates. The Has Waste thing has a date. It's in July. Also, CT Rides got in touch with me about general efforts of us for decreasing car usage here.
Okay.
They're gonna have a table on Earth Day about driving less, just like having a drive less challenge.
Like combining your errands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't really
That's
know,
what I
but
do.
that's,
Or
and that's good.
carpooling.
Yeah.
So yeah, I sort of like talked to the lady about like I'm not sure carpooling really would fly that much here, but I don't know. I mean, I
A
was
lot
like,
of
let's-
parents carpool like for after school activities.
true.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
for
know a
that
lot
kind
of
of
picked up
thing.
like 6 kids the other day at Taekwondo.
Yeah.
We had a luncheon,
Well, that's actually what I did about.
and
too.
what we did was we met at the church
Yeah.
parking lot, and one of my friends has a big van.
Yeah.
That sits 7 people.
great.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
a lot of people got in there, and And then I drove mine, with the two other people.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, you could do that.
Yeah. So thinking of different ways, I did point out to them too. I was like, you could come up with a way to have the same way that there's like usually like the senior center van that goes around town. So, but for children, you could, that would fly here like crazy.
Yes.
So anyway, she was going to see what resources were available from other towns. And
Oh, that would see
Well,
really.
kind of like the
Yeah.
Woodbridge Rec has
Even
the
for
bus.
seniors,
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for
Seniors.
doctor appointments and
they take so long to pick them up, some of the vans. But if you
That would
had
be hard.
a van like that,
Yeah.
it picks up seniors, obviously.
Like
most
hotels have.
mobile. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So anyway, so that's that. The other thing too is nobody saw on Tuesday of next week, there's going to be the town meeting for the Complete Streets Sidewalk Initiative.
Yeah,
If anybody
I
can
did
go
see
to it,
that.
I can't go to it, but
It's when next
Tuesday.
Tuesday? Are you
Second.
going,
I
or
can't.
No?
My husband has to be at a dinner, so I'm stuck on. And
What-
this is gonna be
What time is
virtual.
that?
do you know the time and?
I don't. Probably 6 or 7, I would guess.
Maybe I'll go.
Here?
I believe so.
What's
The
the
big
town
race-
meeting for?
It's for the sidewalk thing.
I was on.
That's-
the committee.
That's good for George Point for us too. for
Yes.
the medals,
Yes,
so
it
that's
will.
good.
We're gonna end in under a minute, so we will adjourn. All right. Don't forget the bird walk on April 20th, everyone. If you want to walk with birds,
Yep. Family friendly, right?
it is. It's early. I forget how 9 o'clock in the morning. All right. Anything else from anybody?
That's it.
Thank you.
Much
Thank
to
you.
do on Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, night all.
Want to add the
I couldn't-
bill stuff, or you'll just do it on your separate things? No, like in there. I don't think it needs to be in the meeting.
And don't forget to vote.